Varapunya. Okay, we are on live. Varapunya, you can start now.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to online meditation session in April. First of all, happy Songkran Day, happy Thai New Year, and I wish you have a good start of the year also. And today is April 14th. So this month is my month's birthday. So I would like to set up this session that we can do the merit together, and we practice the mindfulness meditation together. And the end we do a good merit to all beings. So I hand over to Pra Ajahn.
Okay, so let's call a Songkran. Happy New Year. So wish you all the best and a great prosperity. So with this, now again, we are here to practice meditation and learn about meditation. So before going into the talk, let's practice meditation for a while, and then we'll go for a talk and a question answer after that. Okay. So with this, we'll invite you to have comfortable seats. Take a comfortable seats and relax yourselves, and we'll meditate, leaving all the responsibilities aside. Bring your attention to the moment here and now, leaving all your responsibilities aside. Let's relax and be here and now. So observing your sitting body as you are sitting here and now, making sure that you're sitting upright position, no kalamchi. You may observe the heat or a cold or a tightness in your body and let them relax. Relax as much as possible. You may wiggle your hands or your chest, your legs to feel comfortable and having a comfortable sitting. At this moment, dedicating yourself. This is the moment, nothing to do, nowhere to go. You have intentionally dedicated this moment for the practice of meditation. So as the body relaxed, shifting your attention to the breath, spend a few moments on the breath. You may take a long deep breaths, the breathing in and breathing out. And you may observe the breath in your nose or in your belly as it rises and as it falls. Initially, you may be forcing yourself to see that attention, to that breathing in and out, or rising and falling of abdomen, or you are making it to happen. Making sure that as the mind settles, let it flow naturally, normally. I'm mindfully paying attention to that breath, incoming, outgoing, rising, falling. Remember, it is not the mentally verbalizing the in and out, the rise and the fall. It should be synchronized and you're aware mentally, simply noting as it happens. The breath is something that's taking place as long as we are alive, and yet we do not have any control over it. We can control just a few moments, but not after that. It flows naturally, normally. And let it flow naturally, and simply being aware of it as it comes and as it goes. Breathing in and breathing out, rising, falling. And while you're observing this rising and falling of abdomen or any coming and outgoing of the breath, if mind distracted, recognizing that, relax the object and the awareness of that, and release and come back to the object. Don't be frustrated that your mind is restless and thinking this and thinking that. Just recognizing that I am thinking now, it's okay. So observing that I am thinking, acknowledging that thought, noting that I'm thinking and let it go. And back to the breath, incoming breath, outgoing breath, rising, falling. Slowly bring attention to the body, feel the sensations in your body and to your eyes. Bring attention to your eyes, and creating intention to open your eyes and come out from the practice. Okay, so before we going into the talks, anybody has got anything to share? Anybody wants to speak? Share your practice? No? There are two types of a people. One who practice and understand, and one who doesn't practice, so they know how to and can question. Okay, anyway, right. So, since today is Songkran in Thailand, which is a water festival, to do with water a lot. Meanwhile, the Songkran, this is a New Year in Thailand, also New Year in so many other countries like in Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, and in Nepal, some part of India, Sri Lanka, and so on. So this is a new year. So I call it Asian New Year. So Asian New Year celebration. So we have a Western New Year, 1st of January. We have a Chinese New Year, normally in February. And this is the Asian New Year, right? On April 13, 14, 15. And we will have a Buddhist New Year again in May next month. But that's not the new year, it's just a year, right? So we have lots of new years. But anyway, this Songkran is also regarded as one of the special celebrations in Thailand, not only in Thailand, nowadays it's celebrated around the world. Apparently, here in and also, unfortunately, in the West, particularly in Europe and in Scotland in particular, we cannot touch the water because of the cold. Even sprinkling after a service, people frightened to receive this blessing water. Whereas in Thailand, everybody will be waiting that somebody splash the water for them. So like that. Different countries has got the different traditions to practice on this. Particular in Thailand, related to the water, and it has a very beautiful stories linked with that. So, and I used to relate with the practice of a meditation. About 10 years ago, I was invited to attend one of the Songkran festival in one of the halls, and I wasn't informed to give a talk. And just an hour before, I was informed that, okay, could you please give a talk relating to the Songkran? And I thought, goodness me, what I'm going to say now. So I went away in a corner. I closed my eyes and reflected on the different subjects to speak. And then it comes to the Songkran festival and and then I thought of water, a beautiful simile of water. Water is naturally tasteless, in a way. It is a very tasteless. And also it doesn't have any odor, the smell. It is odorless. And in the meantime, it is a colorless. A color appears when a lot of water come to the stillness, and that a blue, like a sky reflection appears. And our mind is like that too. Our mind is also tasteless, odorless, colorless, and also shapeless, like the water. It doesn't have shape either. Our mind is like that too. And that water can convert or transform into different colors, whatever color you put it in. And also it brings the smell based on what smell you added on. So it becomes orderly, right? That's why some taste there and some smells there. And when whichever jar you put it in, and that water transforms into that jar shape as well. And that exactly our mind is like that too. And I thought, wow, that's a great link. And I gave the talk on the water, the significance of the water, and the significance of our mind. Untrained mind easily disturbed, and it becomes colored. Right? Whereas a trained mind will not be swayed by anything that comes through our senses. So this mind becomes pure and clean, very serene, right? And that state of the mind that we have to create with the practice so that we can gain the happiness. We can gain the pristine purity of our own self. Untrained mind, what happens is that it's like the water. We put things and it pollutes. Our mind also pollutes. When we see things, we would like to have it. When we hear things, we would like to hear it more. Or when we see things, we do not like something and we want to reject. And when we hear something we dislike, then again, we reject, create the aversion towards it. Right? And same with the smell, and touch, and the thinking. And that's how our mind is polluted. And rather than being our own self, we are projecting from those identities, those colors, those shapes. Now, practice of a mindfulness meditation is basically to create that pristine, pure mind. And when we have this pristine, pure mind, what happens? And that means we are having a pure element of a water. So that's a pure mind. When we have this pure mind, what happens? It's a wonderful moment. We will be living in the moment here and now. So that's how we become mindful being. Not just being mindful of activities that we do, but we become a mindful being. It doesn't matter what's happening, we become very mindful of every day and living a life mindfully. And with that, again, there is a story of called Dhammapala, a story related to this Songkran festival. And that's again a beautiful story that we can relate to our practice pretty much as well. So the story goes like this. There was a couple, very rich, but despite of it trying hard, didn't have any child. Whereas there was a man, a drunken man, who is always drinking alcohol and drunk. He had two children. They were living opposite sides, and one night while he was drinking alcohol and drunk, and he was laughing and making a joke that, look at me, I don't have much things in my life, but I have two sons. Look at you, you have a lot of property, you're rich, but you don't have a child. And that really hurts him. This rich man really hurts him and said, oh, he goes on and went on and pray here and there and make a vows here and there, and he prays to the sun and the moon. And it happened that after 3 years of trying, on the 13th of April, when the sun was moving from a March called Min, the month called Min, moving towards the Mesa, this April time, his wish was granted. So his wish was granted and got the child called a Dhammapala. And this Dhammapala was descended from the so-called celestial heavens. And as he grew up, he studied different languages, even the bird's language. He studied the scriptures, and he became a very knowledgeable, well-known. When he became a well-known, and there is a story goes on saying that the Brahma, or the higher god from the Brahma world, Kapila, his name is Kapila, came down and wanted to test. Basically, he became a jealous. Brahma became a jealous of this man who became so well known and famous. So people began to praise him rather than praising the Brahma. So he wanted to defeat him so that he will gain fame back again. So he descends and questioned to the Dhammapala, saying that if you cannot answer these three questions, 7 days, I will chop your head. If you can answer, then I will chop my head. So Brahma was so confident that he would not, the Dhammapala would not be able to answer his questions. So he asked three questions. Number one, where is the blessings in the morning? Number two, where is the blessings in the afternoon? Number three, where is the blessings in the night? Anybody wants to answer before I go on? Make sure that you can answer properly. Otherwise, I have to come and chop your head. If you answer incorrectly. Or if you answer rightly, then I have to chop my head. Any guess? Don't worry, I pardon you if you answer incorrectly. Any guess? Morning, blessings in the morning, blessings in the afternoon, blessings in the night. Okay. It sounds like everybody frightened to answer now. Right, so then Dhammapala was trying to find out the answer. Went on, think and ponder, couldn't find the answer for 6 days. And tomorrow morning, he's gonna die now. So he thought that rather than let the Brahma chop his head, I better die myself. So he went away from the house and sat under the tree, a giant tree. And the story goes like this. Story is a story, right? So two eagles on that tree were talking with a couple, an eagle couple. And then it happened that the a male eagle didn't go and hunt for a meal on that night. And then a wife eagle asked, "Why didn't you go and hunt? We don't have food for tomorrow morning." And then a male eagle said, "Oh, we don't have to go and find a meal anymore. Tomorrow we will have a fresh meat of a Dhammapala. He's gonna die. His head is gonna chop, and his body is there for us. Huh? We will have a plentiful flesh of a human body. We don't have to go and find the food." And then this female eagle asked, "Why is so? He's so famous. He's so powerful. He's so popular. How come he's gonna chop his head?" And so then the eagle said, "Oh, it's because the Brahma came and asked him questions, and this Dhammapala is trying to find out the answer, and he hasn't find out yet. So tomorrow is the last day." Then she asks, "Oh, what are the questions?" So, blessings in the morning, afternoon, and evening. And Dhammapala hasn't found out yet. "And do you know the answer?" So, Eagle said, "Oh, that's a simple answer." That's a very simple answer. Huh? And what is that then? What are the answers? Dhammapala, remember, Dhammapala is just resting under that tree and listening the Abbot's discussion, conversation. So then Eagle said, "Oh, in the morning, blessings in the face. In the afternoon, blessings in the chest. In the night, blessings in the feet." And then, why is that? Blessings in our face in the morning. And that is because we want to be fresh up. We want to be beautiful, cheerful. So that's why as soon as we wake up, human beings will normally go and wash their face. Doesn't matter whatever is going through in their life. Early morning, always freshen up and saying, "Oh, I am okay, happy." To show. Second blessings is in your chest. That's why whenever we come out from the house or go out from the house, we dress up properly so that people see us. "Oh, wow, how smart and beautiful." So that we can face with the world. Go to work with the very smart looking. And the third one is before go to bed, you wash your feet. So here, the philosophy that I come across and I linked with the practice of a meditation. That is, once we learn how to practice meditation, doesn't matter what's going on around us, we will not be sad or sorrow with that. We can keep ourselves firmly standing without and shaken by anything out there. Whatever is coming through the senses, the eye sees things, hear things, or problem that we come across, will not be shaken our mind by those. It's like a stone that's on a mountain that's unshaken by the wind and the water. So our mind becomes firmly established, unshaken by worldly affairs. So we can go with a dignified face and face with the problems without any trouble. So we become a mindful being so that we can deal with the situation without any troubles. And a second, in every difficult positions, doesn't matter what difficulties is that, we able to stand up for ourselves and sharing a so-called self-compassion practice. So we put ourselves in a safe position and be happy and caring ourselves, not putting others in the front, but we are looking after ourselves properly. So that's the second one, protecting yourself. And the last one is a very important. Doesn't matter how many things out there you have engaged with. Suppose you are going to work in the office and you met with so many people and you have to deal with so many stories, so many issues. As soon as you come home, leave everything behind. So wash your feet. That means leave everything behind and just come as like as you left the house. Do not bring anything from outside, just to be yourself in. Suppose you are having, you are talking with your partner, or husband or wife, and during that time, try not to talk about the jobs that you have gone through in the office. Any troubles, do not talk about that one. You just come home and spend the time. And this is a very important, and that you can do if you are mindful enough. That, okay, now I have taken off my job. Now I have another job that is a family job, right? And be with that family. With that, then we can gain the real happiness. So that's why this Songkran festival, and I always reflect in these two senses, in two aspects. The water, convert our mind into a very malleable and very soft and gentle, and yet we are very strong inside. When it's possible, it can break anything. The element, the power of the water, and that's how it creates the energy, the electricity. And yet this is very soft. So our mind needs to be in that way. Very soft, but in a same sense, we can be very powerful as well. So we are not defeated by worldly affairs. And a second, using these three blessings in the morning, afternoon, and evening, we can be happy at all the time. Nothing can bother you now on. And all what you're doing is being mindful of your activities, mindful of your thoughts, mindful of whatever you're doing. If you can mindful in these ways, life becomes beautiful. You can check yourself. Oftentimes, you feel very hard in your heart, very heavy in your heart. Why? It's simply because the outside world affair has influenced, and a mind becomes colorful with those. And the things that is coming to hinder our mindful beingness is basically normally our desire and discontentment towards the things that we come across. The eye sees, the hear, and the ear hears, and nose smells the smells, and the tongue tests the taste of the food, or body comes to contact with the things. At that time, either we become a discontent with the experience, or we desire to have it more. When we have these two sides of the mindset, whenever we come across, that means that changes the color of the water, changes the color of our mind. right? Changes the color of the mind, and we become that the desired one or discontent of that, rather than the pristine purity of our own mind self. So that's why practice helps us to recognize that this is happening to me, and this is this, and but this is, I will not allow it to invade my pristine purity of the mind. Right? When we can do that, then we are safe. Right? So we are in a jar of this shape of our body, in this body, but we are not affected by it. Our mind is fully protected. And with that, what happens that we have this full confidence with us that, okay, I am safe, right? And I have full confidence that I am not distracted of that. And with that, whatever comes, we will be able to be mindful of that. And we can be smile all the time in whatever situation. And that's why it doesn't matter what problem comes in myself. Whenever things arise, I simply said, oh, I will try my best. I will try. That's all. And if something happens, oh, it's okay. It's okay. Like a song called Whatever Will Be, Will Be. But the most important part during this practice of the meditation that I like the most is washing your feet before you go to sleep. If you can take everything out of your mind and a body, right, and go to sleep, you will have a beautiful sleep. Nice sleep, nice rest. That's why I don't have any trouble with sleeping anywhere. As soon as I go, I just put everything okay. Enough for now. This is actually as a beautiful practice that we can practice. So that's why. So today, rather than going into like a complicated story or complicated a practice of a meditation, I thought that since today is a new year or Songkran, I link with these stories that I handed 10 years ago when I was invited. And that was sitting in a corner for a couple of minutes and reflecting on that, what I should say. And that's how I linked the story into the practice. And practically we can practice in a day-to-day life. So that's why I wish you all the best, yeah? And may you have blessings in the morning, blessings in the afternoon, and blessings in the night, so that the Brahma will not chop your head down. And make sure that you're mindful of morning, afternoon, and night, so you will have a happy, enjoyable life ahead. Okay, so I end here. The reflection before we practice. If you have any questions, you can ask now. Floor is yours.
Question about the story. So the Dhammapala, he's not died, right? He find
Ah,
out the answer
yes, he found the answer from the eagle,
from
right?
the ego.
And then the very next day, Brahma comes and asks the question. Brahma thought that, oh, now I am going to gain my fame again, back to myself, and Dhammapala is going to die. But Dhammapala answered these three questions. And then Brahma said, oh, goodness me, how come you know this? So then he had to chop his head. And because he was so powerful, and according to the cosmology, Hindu cosmology, he is the creator of the world. If his head falls on the ground becomes dry and no inhabitations will be there. If his head falls on the ocean, the water will dry out. If his head will thrown in the sky, then there will be no wind. So there will be no beings at all. So with that, he had 7 daughters. So 7 daughters took his head for 1 year. So simply to save the world. And that's why every April, New Year, so they're handing over his head to another daughter. So that's why we have a new Songkran lady every year. So in Thailand, that's why there is a Songkran lady contest. Lady Songkran contest in Thailand. So that means she is going to hold the Brahma's head to save the world. Okay, like that. But nowadays, it's not about holding the Brahma's head. It's about the name and the fame. So if you do not win the contest, sometimes there is a fight. So that's a different story. Okay, but anyway, the story is one of the 7 daughters will taking the time to hold his head so that it won't fall either in an ocean or on the floor or on the sky. So that's why this is how world continue. But this is not related to the practice, so that's why I didn't explain that one. Okay, any other thing related to meditation? Hmm. Okay, so because we didn't go through the meditation like as explained in scripture today, it's just like easygoing, more laughing. Okay. So with this, if you don't have any questions, then let's practice again. Okay, so sitting in a comfortable position, relax yourself. Um, Bring your attention to moment here and now and spend some time on the breath. Observing incoming breath and outgoing breath, or rising and falling of abdomen. By this time, since we've been practicing for such a long time, I believe that you have developed the focus attention in one or another, like in your breathing at the nose or in your belly. So making sure that you have the sign established in your mind and able to work with that so that you can have a focus attention. So let's think that everyone is comfortable with the breath coming in and going out around the nostrils. Observing the breath in your nostrils as it comes and as it goes. Not just the feeling of the breath touching the nostrils, but try to listen the sound of the breath as it comes in and as it goes out. And try to notice the long breath and the short breaths, or different breaths. To observe the different breaths, making sure that you're relaxed and there is no effort of making the breath coming in and going out. Just observing and knowing different breaths. Easy way to recognize that is when breathe in and breathe out. Noticing the difference between incoming breath and outgoing breath. Whether the length of the incoming breath and outgoing breath same or different. It's an observation of it and not making it. It's a knowing, not making. And when you know that this is a long breath and this is a short breath, mentally making a note that I am observing this long breath. I am observing this as a short breath. Breathing in, breathing out, knowing the long breath and a short breath. and training yourself to recognize the effect in your body as you breathe in and breathe out. When you breathe in, what sort of effect you can experience in your body? And when you breathe out, what sort of experiences are there? Train yourself to notice how the breath forms and how the body continues. Relationship between breath body and flesh body. While practicing, if your mind is distracted to the thoughts, remember using the O, observing, acknowledge, note, and let go, or simply realizing, relaxing, and return. After release, the object, return to the object, the breath in your nose, incoming breath and outgoing breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring your attention to the body. Feel the sensations. And bring that attention to your eyes. Feel the tensions in your eyes. And noticing. Creating intention to open your eyes. And come out from the practice. Reflect for a few moments. Okay, now again, this is floor is yours. Any questions or anything you want to ask? Was welcome. Unmute yourself and then speak. Emily.
Yes. Oh, well. Okay. Yeah, just a few things to share. You already shared my thought from the first sitting about the 3 New Years we have in Thailand. It's helped with the New Year resolution because I was trying to put myself to be more disciplined with the practice from the 1st of January. didn't work out until Chinese New Year, which is around end of January this year. And then there's so many things happening. So my practice was not up to my expectation. So now with the Thai New Year, the Asian New Year, that what I shared with Varapunya yesterday, that discipline is still what I've been trying to work on. So I was trying to practice maybe 10, 15 minutes every day, but that was not happening daily. So I was trying at least to be the mindful being, which you also mentioned during the talk, that, okay, when things are too many things happening in my head, I was like, okay, I slow down, be with my breathing, at least 5 breaths, that I'm not thinking of anything else from time to time. So that was what I'm trying to do daily. And that's been working so far. So I'm still trying to work on the discipline of practicing every day. So this is another New Year resolution that just started yesterday, working on that. But that was part of the thing. A question that I have now is, normally the second sitting, while we do the practice, is easier because I'll be able to be easily control my thought, that, okay, the thought is there, recognize it, let it go. And with the bodily pain and everything, it works with trying to focus on the breathing. But this time, I can't get rid of my chest pain. It felt like I have something pressing on my chest the whole time. So the breathing is not helping at all. So the whole sitting, I was like, ooh, chest pain. Okay, let it go. But I decided not to let go. So the whole sitting, I have the chest pain. Yeah, I was like, ooh, okay. Even with trying to focus on the breathing, it's still not working. So what can I do? What can we do in this case of this issue during the sitting or during the practicing or during daily life? So that's the question.
Okay, so I'm glad to hear that you have a very new, fresh resolution to discipline yourself to practice again. So definitely practice regularly will bring fruits. And in terms of the pain in your chest, so in that case, now if you remember using the word relaxing, right? So realizing, relaxing, releasing, and return, or observing, acknowledging, noting, and let it go. So this time, if that's become really relevant and very difficult to leave that, so in that case, do not struggle. Do not battle yourself to come to the breath. So relax, remember, relax. So you have a chest pain, then, okay, I am having a chest pain. So relax yourself. Do not battle that, oh, I have to come back to the breath. So relax yourself and observing this chest pain objectively. And again, do not go into the thought processes. Why I am having this chest pain? What's going on? So do not go into that detail. Just chest pain, observing this chest pain now with that the chest pain, not the breath now. Okay? So relaxing and observing that chest pain. And eventually it comes to the stage that the more you become aware of the chest pain, this becomes more intensified. It becomes a more more stronger and stronger. Actually, not not the pain that becomes stronger, but our awareness becomes stronger. That's how it becomes a more, we can see it more clearly. What's happening is nothing is distracting you, and nothing is distracting you to focus on that pain. That's how the pain becomes more relevant and stronger. Now, when we are not fighting with it, observing objectively, and then what happens that gradually mind becomes kind of a fed up with it. Oh, it's never gone anywhere, so why should I be worried about it? See, that's why it's called a double knot here. First, the physical pain, and second is a mental pain. So physical pain comes, you realize and you question about it, and you go into the thought processes, then you have a double knot problem. But whereas when you are observing it objectively, then eventually it comes to the stage that, oh, this is not going away, and it's not bothering me anymore. Then why should I be worried about it? So in that case, then mind simply look for other objects to pay attention to. So in that case, again, that moment, so bring this mind to focus on the breath. And here, focus on the breath doesn't mean that you can come back straight away. So that is the reason why we are training to bring it back to the breath again and again, simply to familiarize with it. As the mind come out from the pain, so the mind will try to find other objects to go in, to think about. Whereas since we've been practicing and bringing it back to the breath, it become used to and familiar with that. So as soon as mind wants to go somewhere, the first thought will come is the breath. And that's how naturally we can come to the breath. Right? So that's why we're practicing in this way. So this is how it comes. And eventually at the end, you can bring your mind back to the breath without any trouble. And here, not only without any trouble, there is no desire either. You're not intending to bring this mind to the breath either. Simply mind observes it itself. Mind simply adapts that automatically. And that's why there is no desire. There is no lobha, desire to come, or I want to be with the breath. No, it's just a natural habit of the mind that needs somewhere to rely on to arise. And the breath is the object that it has taken. And when it comes to the breath, then at that moment, that arises the joy of releasing and establishing. Releasing from the distraction or the pain that you had, and then establishing on the breath. And that moment you feel light, serene, comfortable, and upright. And you have this joy. And when you stay with that joy for a moment, and when you come out from the practice of meditation, you feel happy. There is a happiness of the practice. There is a lightness in your body and the mind. The whole thing becomes so bright, like that. Okay, so that's why don't worry. Initially, we practice to come out from this pain as soon as possible, but if it remains, then stay with that and work with it and observing objectively, and then eventually it comes to the stage that it comes back to the breath. Okay, so good. I think Mighty wants to say something.
No, I was going to write you that I'm sorry, but I have to leave you. So thank you very much for another great session. It was fantastic. Thank you, and a happy new year to all of you.
Yes, thank you very much for joining, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, right. Any other things? There was a lady, she was practicing meditation and went to the 10 days retreats, couple of 10 days retreats. And she developed good concentration. And it happened that later on, she was so attached to the breath. She was so attached to the breath. And when other distraction came, she couldn't bear with that. And as a result, she was having a battle with it. That I don't want to have those distractions. I need to go to the breath. And with that battle, she develops a headache. So she developed headache. And this headache didn't go. And with that, he cannot meditate. And it comes to the stage that she doesn't want to practice meditation. And she came to me and spoke about her practice. And so then I guided her in this way to practice. And in the first sitting, she felt much relaxed and easy. So that's why there is no battle. There is no I want. We just need to be mindful that, okay, this is happening and this is out of my control, and this is not me, and this is not mine. I am not this. When we can withdraw ourselves in this way, eventually we can release ourselves and gain the further insight into it. So that's why do not struggle. If you can't meditate on the breath, it's okay. Whatever at front, pay attention to that and work with it. Okay. Right, so if there is no other questions, then we move on to another practice to wrap it up. Okay. Right, again, sitting in a comfortable position. Relax yourself. Reflect for a few moments on today's practice. And bring your attention to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Now we will practice loving kindness meditation. So bring your attention to feel the sensations in your body. Whatever sensations are there, just be mindful of it. And bring that attention to your hands. Feeling sensations in your hands. Whatever sensations are there, the softness, the hardness, the fluidity, the heat, the cold, softness. Feeling those sensations. If you feel the softness and the hardness, that's the earth element. The cohesiveness, the combining, that's the water element. The heat, a warmness or a coldness, the heat element. Fluctuation, changing, air element. So observing in this way, whatever sensations are there, not just the sensation, but also elements of it, understanding in that way. Bring that attention to your heart. Feel the beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, allowing yourself to be happy, free from suffering. May I be happy. Feeling a sense of a happiness, not just a word, but from your bottom of heart, true feeling of happiness. May I be free from suffering. Freedom from all kinds of suffering. May I be free from hurtfulness, hatred. jealousy, ill will, animosity. May I be liberated, liberated. Now, similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, or any particular person that you think that they need at this time the most. Bring into your mind and spreading this goodwill, loving thought. May you be happy. May you be at peace. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from hurtfulness. May you be liberated, liberated. May you be able to maintain your happiness. Now sharing this loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings in the room, in the city, in the country, on earth and in the universe, whatever beings there are. Whatever beings there are, may they be happy. Sharing this loving thought to all sentient beings. May they be free from suffering. May they be free from hurtfulness. May they be free from hatred, jealousy, ill will, animosity. May they be liberated, liberated. May they be able to maintain their happiness. Whatever merits that we have accumulated today, may all beings rejoice in it. Those who are going through the difficulties and unhappiness, may their difficulties ward off. May they gain the happiness. Those who are already happy, and well. May their well-being and happiness increase. So bring your attention back to your hands. Feel the sensations in your hands. And to your body. Feel the sensations in your body. Feel the sensations in your body. And bring that attention to your eyes. Feel the tensions in your eyes. And bring that attention to your eyes. Create intention to come out from the practice. So slowly open your eyes and come out from the practice and reflect for a few moments. Okay, so that is the practice for today, and I wish you all the best and happy new year, and wish you have a good health and successful, prosperous life ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Pra Ajahn. Thank you, everyone, to join us today. Wish you all the best and have a good Sunday. ขอบคุณมากๆค่ะ ขอบคุณทุกๆคนที่จอยวันนี้นะคะ